Hello, everybody. It's my privilege to introduce to you, all the way from the south side of Chicago, the man, the myth, the legend, my Theo, your brother, the South Side Unicorn.
And what they're proposing, Romney wants to he said in the first 100 days, he's going to let the big banks once again write their own rules. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Hey, it's your boy Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. Man, oh man. Getting kind of crazy, y'all. Got this J6 hearing. I call it the J6 Tribunal. Personally, I think it's illegal. I think it's going to do almost irreparable damage to the fabric of our union. I do believe that Americans need to come together in one big voice and simply say, hashtag J6 Kangaroo stop. You talk about a kangaroo court. That's exactly what this is. And Adam Schiff is back involved with the hunt of President Donald J. Trump. This is sociopathic, ladies and gentlemen. It is sociopathic to let Adam Schiff anywhere near even a piece of paper with President Trump's name written on it. This is getting out of control. Nobody is going to be able to stop this other than the American people ourselves. There's not a senator. There's not a congressperson. Nobody is going to be able to stop this juggernaut of injustice but us. And if you're too afraid to retweet a simple hashtag of hashtag J6 Kangaroo stop, then I don't know if you're worthy of the freedoms you have. I said it. That's right. Because that's what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we get all these people always telling us this is the way we have to do it and we have to remain civil and all of that. Look, stop spitting in the face of all those people who dared and risked much so that we might be free. Don't you think that they were decent people? Don't you think they loved the same God that we love? Don't you think they would rather have been at home baking biscuits or, sitting on the porch sipping some lemonade? But they knew they had to get up off that porch, grab something, and get busy. We keep hiding behind decency. I'm not saying that we're not going to be decent. I'm not saying that we're not decent now. But we keep hiding behind it, behind civility. We're being cowards. Bottom line is we're being cowards. I think back to the Francis Scott Keys song, "Oh, say, can you see?" And they like to try to break it down to us and tell us that there were men on British ships being held captive and they were looking at the fort and they were hoping that that flag would still be there. Well, we got people in prisons, the J6ers, and they're looking out the holes of those prisons. They're looking through the bars of those prisons, hoping that some kind of help is going to come. They're hoping that the American people will come and save them. But instead, we see this Leviathan reaching out for President Trump once more, reaching out to try to stain him or soil him with something that will prevent him from being president once again. Because based on everything I'm seeing right now, he will be president once again. And evil knows that too. Evil should be wrong. Evil should be defeated. But it won't be if we just keep sitting on our butts. Can't you go and do hashtag J6 Kangaroo stop? That's all you got to do. Can you imagine if 80 million, 90 million people say, hey, y'all need to stop what you're doing because you're messing up the union. You're going to irreparably damage our nation. If we start standing up like that, this will stop. But when Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff and all these people can survive their elections and keep coming back over and over and over again, and nobody's stopping them from doing what they want to do, then they're just going to do more. This is only going to get worse. And eventually, this is going to hit you where you live. So get up off your couch, get off your porch, do whatever you got to do, and let's start being Americans. I know I sound a little frustrated, and I am. I've been asked a few times from a lot of people, hey, when you going to run for office? I'm not going to run for an office. It's not been put on my spirit, man, to do that. That's a calling for other people. But I can still be a voice. I can still be a slight tinge in the back of the American mind to say, hey, it's time to be about something. The left sits there screaming, do something, do something. Well, yeah, there's a lot we can do. There's a lot you should do. There's a lot more I can do, and I'm going to do it. We have to do something, ladies and gentlemen. That's true. But disarming the American people, tampering with the Second Amendment, nah. One of the ways you can tell that this is not quite right, what these people are doing, all you got to do is remember this one simple fact. When we tried to galvanize the American people and remind us of the horrors that visited us on 9/11, when we tried to show pictures of the planes going into the buildings or the human beings who had to jump out of the building in those strange popping sounds that took me days to figure out what it was. And then I asked somebody, I wished I had never asked, but I did. Hey, what are those popping sounds? Is that like the windows breaking? And they were like, no, Kenny. That's the sound of human beings hitting the concrete who jumped out of the building rather than be incinerated with those fires. We tried to replay that stuff to remind people of how bad it can truly get so that we don't get lackadaisical, so that we don't get, or should I say that we're not vigilant anymore. They, meaning the left, meaning the Democrats, meaning Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and all the rest of those usual characters, they would not allow, in that, the TV, the Hollywood people, because they basically control the mic, they would not allow those videos and those images to be portrayed. But yet now, sadly, with the horror at Uvalde, Texas, which again, my prayers and condolences go out to those families in that city. My goodness, my God. But now with the Uvalde situation, they have even dared to suggest that those bodies of those children that were so torn up should be exposed to open coffin services so that we might see the carnage. Do something. That's the way the demonic presence works, ladies and gentlemen. Get you in a frenzy, get you all confused, get you in a hurry, mess with your emotions, try to do the passion play and all of these things. That's how they get down. Do something. And then they get to do their red flag laws that they've been reaching at for years. Then they get to come at the decent American citizens and mess with our freedoms and rights once again. Well, it's time to turn into the wind, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to turn about. We always step back when they step forward. Whenever they make an encroachment onto our freedoms, our rights, we always step back. We always acquiesce. No more. We cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen. We had better not do that. I know that what I'm saying to Nancy Pelosi and perhaps Adam Schiff and all the rest of them sounds like, what? Sedition. But it's not. I am a free man. I was born that way. I was born a free man because, ironically, I was born on the exact same date that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was signed. It was signed at 2:54 p.m., and I was born at 3:54 p.m., an hour after they said that blacks are human beings too, even though we knew it was a truth long before the papers. But that paper clearly marked that I was free. So I've been a free man all my life. I believed myself to be a Republican at age 10, growing up on the south side of Chicago. You tell me how that was. I was taught by my grandfather and my mother and her brother that I am able to be and do whatever I want to do and be. And so I joined the United States Air Force, picked up some skills, came out, became a cop, picked up some skills, took those skills, honed them, and opened up my own business. I became self-employed at age 28. I've employed countless hundreds of people, all from a little black boy from the south side of Chicago who dared to believe that I could do and be anything I wanted to do or be in the United States of America. And now here we are, the year 2022, and I can barely hop in a circle because of Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, who wants to even dare check your bank account at a $600 balance. Hell, you need that much money just to fill your gas tank up during these days. Ladies and gentlemen, I got on a tirade. I got on a run. We still got plenty of show to do, but we're already up on a station break. So I'll ask you to go nowhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey, my name is Toot Sweet, and I'm New York City's original artist, singing for the cause of freedom. I've spent the last 10 years of my life documenting history through my music. It's like a recipe that's blessing me, bringing out the best of me, aggressively testing me to create my own destiny and understanding, universally accepting diversity and learn more lessons in life than you're learning any. And when I'm in need of a dose of reality to escape the liberal land of make-believe, I tune in to the Southside Unicorn, where the truth is as solid as New York City concrete. My name is Toot Sweet, and you're listening to my friend Ken White on the Southside Unicorn, and this party's just getting started.
When I see a new broadcast from the Southside Unicorn, I can't wait to listen to it. You just never know what he's going to say.
Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design.
Hey, it's your boy Ken White, and we are back for the second segment of today's show. And I went up on such a tear, I went up on such a little tirade, I didn't even mention the name of the show today. And you know me, I love to give my shows names. I look at some of my colleagues and whatnot, and I look at what they do, and I'm like, hey, that's pretty cool. They just post the podcast, and it's like podcast number 138. It's podcast number 140, And I'm like, boy, oh boy, that would sure be an easier way to get this stuff done now, wouldn't it? But just like my clients, I give everybody a customized proposal. I could go out and get a simple template. I could build it myself, and I could go ahead and do like a block proposal. But no, I walk a person's property. I listen to their needs. I look at the situation, and I design them their own personal proposal for services. They deserve that. They're about to give me their hard-earned money. And I'm about to earn it pretty hard too. But I transferred that same philosophy to my show. I like giving the shows titles based on the day's situation or what's going on under those conditions. So here we go. Today's show is titled "The Democrats are Jug Heads." And throughout the show, we're going to talk about why I say the Democrats are jug heads. We'll get to it. We're going to talk about Nick Cannon. We're going to talk about the Democrats. We've already dealt with the J6 situation. I don't want to touch on Uvalde, Texas too much right now. We're about to begin to see the funerals and the services and things like that. And words don't get it done. I'm so sorry about those children. I'm so sorry that I'm going to say this much about Uvalde, Texas right now. On my Facebook and on my pages that are left, because Instagram permanently deleted me. They permanently deleted a brother. Damn. But on my pages that are left, and that reminds me, you can find me on President Trump's new site, Truth. And my handle is at Southside Unicorn. At Southside Unicorn. You'll find me there. Now, Uvalde. And like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I want to touch on this because it's a truth about what this could be. You look at all the shootings that have happened over the last few weeks, and I mean, they're just coming rat-a-tat-tat. And I said, if these things are not ordered by men in some conspiracy, some plan of the machinations of men, if these things are not done by that, then what we're witnessing, ladies and gentlemen, is an intrusion of the supernatural into the natural. We're watching evil dial its minions back in because the momentum was truly changing. The momentum of the nation after Afghanistan, after the blundering of Joe Biden every day, day in and day out, after the incredible, you talk about somebody showing you that they're not capable of being a world leader. Kamala Harris only has to stand in front of a podium for 2 minutes, and it's clear to anybody. It's even more clear to world leaders. But I was saying this is an intrusion of the supernatural into the natural. The door at Uvalde was supposed to be locked. And the woman is on video, and you can see that she made an attempt to lock that door. But the door did not lock. It remained open. That door, at that time, remained open. That is beyond coincidence, ladies and gentlemen. That's supernatural intruding on the natural. That evil might get a better foothold because we were about to kick evil out. So it dialed its minions back in. And like clockwork, like good little players on the field, they grabbed it and they ran with it. Get rid of the assault rifles. We have to do new legislation immediately. You do not want to give this government one more inch of power or say-so over your right to keep and bear arms. And here's my point. When 9/11 happened, we let them do the TSA. When 9/11 happened, look at how stewardess or flight attendants and the TSA started treating Americans. They treated us bad. They still treat us bad. They treat us like we committed a crime. And all we want to do is go see our loved ones or conduct business. Look at how they treated us over COVID. How many people were actually assaulted by law enforcement types over a simple ruling that you must wear your mask? They did all of that to us over those things. Imagine how bad it's going to get when they get comfortable telling us who can and who cannot have a gun. As a matter of fact, nobody can have a gun. The only people that can have guns work for us. Don't be that stupid, America. Don't be that dumb. That's all I want to say on the Uvalde, Texas thing. I am so sorry about those children. But even though they're gone, this is still America today. It should still be America 100 years from today. And the right to keep and bear arms is one of the few things that's going to ensure that that is a truth. So here we are, dealing with all this stuff that's going on in our nation. And they're trying their best to drag President Trump into the J6 hearings and try to get him convicted and charges pressed against him. All I can say on that one, ladies and gentlemen, is this. It's time to simply come together. Come catch up with me. We'll do it. We will do it. I'll show you how. We don't have to go to Washington. We just have to start coming together. Don't be afraid to speak out. That's exactly what lends them more power. Hashtag J6 Kangaroo stop. Just post it. Post it and write something, write your opinion, whatever. Just post it. Let them know you're here. Let them know that if they keep going down this road, there will be millions upon millions upon millions of us that they have to reckon with. You got to do it now while it still matters. Okay? Now, where was I? I was saying that we were going to talk about Nick Cannon and, titled the show, Democrats are Jug Heads and, all this kind of stuff. But right now, I just want to, just keep on rapping to you about, stuff that's going on, that's going down. Now, we are in a time where moms cannot get baby formula in America. That, I never thought I would say something like that in my lifetime. That a mother in America could not get, baby formula. But I told you guys, I said it in prophetic word, that is exactly what was going to happen. Why? Because Roe versus Wade is in the air, because it hangs in the balance. Now you ask, how is it that baby formula ties into Roe versus Wade, Kenny? What are you talking about? Well, they totally gutted my Instagram page, and I've been sitting there thinking about that. They took my page down because there was so much content in there that I wrote a year ago, 2 years ago, that is all starting to come to fruition. There's no way they can let that page stay up. And all you have to do is scroll back and go, well, I'll be darned. Kenny White, a.k.a. the Southside Unicorn, he said this 2 years ago. This is exactly where we would be, that this is exactly what would happen. And here we are. And I said that they would indeed make it difficult to raise a child. They would do it on purpose, because then they would lovingly offer our already confused young people this alternative. Isn't it just easier to abort the child than to bring a child into a world of suffering where you might not even be able to feed that child? That's evil for you. That's demonic principality for you. And voila, here we are with Roe versus Wade hanging in the balance. And what just happened? You can barely feed your child. All that works together, ladies and gentlemen, and don't think that it doesn't. That's what separates the Southside Unicorn Show from all that other stuff that's out there. I'm talking to you. I'm sharing with you the truth of what our enemy is doing. And yes, I call them our enemy. I'm not happy about that. I don't care that they claim to be Americans. I don't care that they claim to be the Democrat Party or the Progressive Democrats or, the Socialist Democrats or whatever. I don't care about titles. I care about actions. You want to destroy the Constitution of the United States of America? You put walls and fences up around our government buildings where we cannot even enter them and enjoy the buildings that are the hallmark of our freedoms? You have senators on your side of the aisle who openly threaten Supreme Court justice because they are not going to vote the way you want them to. So you tell them they're going to reap the whirlwind. They won't know what hit them. And then young wound up twisteds from Simi Valley, California, get it in their minds that they should go and seek out Justice Kavanaugh and kill him. And that Senator, Chuck Schumer, is still allowed to get up, put his pants on, and walk into our hallowed buildings of government? He is never supposed to return. He is to be expelled. He is to be drummed out of the Senate. And why Republicans, I know Democrats aren't going to say that. That's why they're the enemy. But what the hell's wrong with the Republicans? Every Republican senator, every Republican congressperson, don't shake his hand. Don't look at him. Turn your back on him. And actually refuse to do business anytime Chuck Schumer walks into the room. He is supposed to be, what's that word? Excommunicado. It's time for him to go. It's time for him to go home. And as long as we allow this double standard of ridiculousness to come out of our government, they want to call the J6ers and all this domestic terrorist. Yet somebody set a federal building on fire. Was it in Oregon, I believe? Set a federal building on fire. Where are they? Are they in prison? Are they being held on trial for sedition? What about those who made CHOP or Chaz and declared them independent nations within the borders of America, and people died in those confines too? Where are they? Are they being held on trial for their lives? No. Hey, on one end, my boy, what is his name? He played Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh man, I cannot believe his name is slipping away from me right now. Ooh, I'm not going to work on it too much harder than this. But he sat there and said, when was the last time an actor killed a president? What about Madonna when she said, I think an awful lot about blowing up the White House? What about Maxine Waters when she said, you get in their faces and you tell them they are not welcome here? Welcome where? In America? You trying to tell me you're going to get up in an American's face and tell them that they're not welcome? These things are sedition. And yet they're not being prosecuted. Not at all. But yet here we are, letting these people get up every morning and hold these hearings as if though they're so serious. And all you got is a bunch of frustrated Americans who are trying to express a grievance to their government. If they committed any crime at all, that's the crime they would be guilty of. Ladies and gentlemen, we hit another break. It's time to do that thing. We'll be right back after these messages.
When I see a new broadcast from the Southside Unicorn, I can't wait to listen to it. You just never know what he's going to say.
Step 1, train the people only to consume. Step 2, infiltrate adults with the news. Step 3, indoctrinate the children through the schools and the music and the apps on the phones that they use. Step 4, separate the right from the left. Step 5, separate the white from the black. Step 6, separate the rich from the poor. Use religion and equality to separate them more. Step 7, fabricate a problem, made a lie. Step 8, put it on the news every night. Step 9, when people start to fight and divide, take control. This is called situational design.
You are listening to the Southside Unicorn Show, hosted by my friend, Ken White. He'll be back after these messages.
Hey, we're back for the third segment of The Democrats Are Jug Heads. Now, when we left off in the second segment, I got kind of, lost on who this guy was. It's Johnny Depp. You guys knew that. You knew that. Even though I was sitting there going, I can't remember his name and whatnot. Sometimes names just kind of slip out of my head. It happens, But, one chuck up to Johnny Depp because he struck a blow for all mankind. And on that one, I'm kind of glad. But on the same hand, he made a veiled threat against the sitting president. And yet, there he walks, scot-free, twice. He got away from his slanderous wife, and he got away from virtually threatening the president, and nothing happened to him. So I'm asking you all, why are we silent? Why are we watching these people run amok and grab the nearest fellow patriot and dog them out? They're dogging them out. And I'm telling you, this is the part about Americans that we have to remember. You remember that old song? He ain't heavy. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. Well, I mean, whether you go back to the jungles of Vietnam, World War II, Korea, whatever, we don't leave ours behind. But yet we got people who haven't even been allowed due process of justice, being held in prisons over political matters in America, and we ain't doing nothing. We ain't spoke out in great numbers. We haven't told the government we won't pay one more dime in taxes if you guys keep acting like drunken sailors with our freedoms and our money. What are you scared of? What are you afraid of? The trick of it is the worst is already happening. And the only thing that can happen from here is that it gets a whole lot worse. That is, unless we come together, not at a polling booth. That's nice. If we get some politicians in the government, maybe that will do the right thing, that won't become poisoned or corrupted themselves, because you know what happens with power. You know what happens with power. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. We don't have term limits in. We don't have any of that stuff in place. So in a way, it's almost like a conveyor belt of inoculation, should I say. Okay, fine. We get rid of these politicians. We don't vote for anybody that's an incumbent. And we get a whole new fresh batch of, politicians in there. But they ain't going nowhere. Now they're being lobbied by the same people who never went anywhere. Now they're being enticed with money, power, and all sorts of things. And it won't be long before they're just like the people we thought we got rid of. So, as I've always said, this will always come back to rest in the lap of the American people. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands. That's no joke. This land was made for you and me. Didn't say nothing about Chuck Schumer. Didn't say nothing about Adam Schiff. Didn't say nothing about Nancy Pelosi. This is our land. And we better start to act like it. We better remember that before it's too late. Now, I'm trying to get a little lighthearted here, but there's just so much stuff going on out there, ladies and gentlemen, that Southside Unicorn got to keep it real. I got to talk to you on the level that I was given to talk to you on. But before we go another step forward, there is a social or business network out there that I belong to. It's called Alignable, alignable.com. You'll find the Southside Unicorn Show on alignable.com. And I said that during this weekend show, I would offer a question. And if anybody could answer the questions while supplies last, it will be my honor to send you a swag t-shirt of the Southside Unicorn Show. So, let's get into that little bit of fun trivia, shall we? My girl, Brittany Spears, I've always put out prayers for her. I worry about that young lady, she was a Disney employee too. Look at what Disney does to young people. I used to think that MICKEYMOUSE was a really cool thing. Now I find that 6-foot rat don't deserve none of our cheddar. So Brittany Spears, she was under control of her dad. He was her conservator, and he said he was afraid that she would squander her money and that she would just get used and, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And people were like, hey, she's a grown lady. Let that girl have her money. Let that girl do whatever the hell she wants to do. It's her money. She's an adult. so be it. And they got a point. But parents never see it that way. That's their child. And they're going to try to protect her, even if they have to protect her from herself. So when I see her dad and her mom and her loved ones saying, girl, you're going too fast. You're going to mess up your life. We need you to calm down and do it this way. And she's kind of resisting it. You know what I'm reminded of? I'm reminded of the late Amy Winehouse. That woman, she was on a collision course with destruction. And she ultimately succumbed and lost her life to her lifestyle. So I don't see too much wrong with her parents being concerned for her when you look up and you see all these pictures. This woman is allegedly was supposed to be getting married, right? She's like set to be betrothed. And she's taking pictures in the nude and putting them on her page. I mean, I know times have changed, but come on, y'all. So now, she actually did get married. She did the nuptials, married this guy. And lo and behold, here comes the drama. I hate drama. You know what I'm saying? How they say, save that drama for your mama. I hate drama. But not that I didn't have my fair share of it in my past life, in my former life. I feel like a reincarnated soul sometimes because I don't even allow that mess even near me no more. No drama. Like my girl Mary J. Blige says. But yeah, Brittany Spears got married. And as you all know, or maybe you don't, so let me just put you on tip over here because this is the question coming up. Her ex came to the wedding. He wasn't the wedding singer. He was the wedding crasher. And so he crashed the wedding. Okay? Now here comes your question that if you answer back on the alignable.com page for the Southside Unicorn Show, this is where you win your t-shirt. The man she was married to before she got married this time, how long were they married? How long were they married? That's the question. If you can answer the question of how long Britney Spears was married in her first marriage, you will win a swag t-shirt so long as supplies last. So get that answer in. After that, because I'm thinking about that poor young lady. Man, oh man, she has been through a lot. But now let's go on to another celebrity. Let's go on over here to my man Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon is on his, I believe, 9th child with another woman. 9 babies with another woman. Now, don't think I'm criticizing this man because that would be like the kettle calling the skillet black in my life. And I don't say that lightly. I understand the premium of a good, solid family for children. But you don't always know that stuff when you start off in this game. That's the part that kills me with some of these Christians or conservatives or this or that. They think you got to be like stick straight perfect. Stick straight perfect. And if you did make some mistakes, they got to be the kind that they okay with. No, that's not how God works. It's not how God works. I'll stick with him. Y'all go ahead and do whatever it is y'all doing. I'm going to stick with God. But, yeah, Nick Cannon got 9 babies now. And the trick of it is, it seems like the only people that are upset with Nick Cannon about having them babies, you would think it'd be the conservatives. You would think that the conservative Christian people would be like, yo, man, put a sock on it, zip it up, cut it out. But it's not them, ladies and gentlemen, that's giving Nick Cannon a hard time. It's the Democrats. It's the socialists. It's the woke. It's the white Democrats that are coming at this man all hard about having his 9th baby. Now, why would they be mad at him about that? He's a father. He's wealthy. He's definitely going to be able to take care of all those children. So if he can take care of them, he's in their lives, he's nurturing them, he has a relationship with the moms. What's the problem here? That's the question I was asking myself. What's the problem here? And then it dawned on me. Came to me like a like a comet out of the sky. And I couldn't believe how obvious it is as to why the Democrats have a problem with Nick Cannon having 9 babies. Did you figure it out? Did it hit you like it hit me as to what's up with that? That's right. They're mad at Nick Cannon because he's procreating. They're mad at Nick Cannon because he's making, how did Ice Cube say it? Because I'm making babies like me. They mad at Nick Cannon because he is making more black babies. He's making more and more and more and more and more black babies. And if the Democrats had it their way, all of America would be like New York State. New York State, there are more black babies aborted than are born. That's a Democrat stronghold. That's a powerhouse of the Democrats. And where they hold a grip on Roe versus Wade and this and that and the freedoms of blacks and whatever you want to call it, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop-whoop-whoop, more black babies are aborted than are being born. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why they mad as hell at Nick Cannon. Because he out here making babies. He ain't aborting them. He didn't take that young lady and secretly spirit her away to some wealthy hospital, which of course he could have done. He could have wrote her a check and said, hey, look, I'm going to pay you this much money for you. Let's go and get you over here to this hospital and let's work this out. That's Nick Cannon. He could have done that. But Nick Cannon ain't about that. He's fathering all his children. He's making life. He's being fruitful and multiplying. And the Democrats ain't having none of it. They ain't feeling it. They don't want it. So you talk about another moment where the left is perfectly exposed for who they really, really are. Just look at how they're treating Nick Cannon over having 9 babies. And it ain't because he can't afford them. You already heard me say that. It ain't because he's not in their life. You already heard me say that. It's for another reason. What could that reason be? It is because Nick Cannon ain't shooting blanks out of that cannon. That's why, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, guess what? It's time for another station break. I cannot believe how fast this show is going by, but it certainly is. We'll be right back after these messages. Go nowhere. Hey, we're back for the fourth and last segment of Democrats or Jug Heads. But now I want to just add this in real quick. You know how I do it. I do this show as I am drawn to do it. I want to share something with you. Yesterday I was in deep prayer and I was like, Lord God, what is this you got me doing? What's going on here? You know, I speak out, I reach out and I'm getting attacked for it. And my pages are being shadow banned and reduced reach. Facebook had no shame in their game. They said, well, no, we're reducing your reach down to 5 people. And that hurt. I mean, that really got at me. I'm like, 5 people? That's all that's going to ever see what I'm doing is 5 people because you have the power? And God hit me inside my spirit, man, and said, no, Kenny, I have the power. Don't you stop opening your mouth. You keep doing what you're doing. He's like, and oh, by the way, if you're going to follow me, don't you know that it's going to get a whole lot worse than this? Your choice if you want to continue to follow me or not. I'm like, that ain't no choice to me. That's a no-brainer. So as I'm opened up to the spirit, I'm going into the store to handle a little bit of business. And when I go inside the store, I hear this song playing in my ear. Now, I don't know the language. I don't know really what the man was saying, but I was already open to the spirit is what I'm trying to say to you. And because of that, I could hear him in that man's voice. And I had to ask the clerk, I'm like, hey, who is this guy that's, singing on your radio? He's a very powerful soul. He's speaking to the people. And at that same time, because time and space all collide together and they all become one thing when you're open to the Holy Spirit, God said he would pour his flesh out on all people. And we're all his people. No matter how we come, no matter where we come from. That's how this thing works. And I could hear it. And I said, this man is sending a message to the people. He's speaking out to the people. Who is he? And is he still? And the guy told me, he said, hey, this guy's name is Sidhu MOOSE WALA. And in his culture, in the Sikh community, Sidhu MOOSE WALA was equivalent to a Tupac Shakur or Selena or any of those people. And I just wanted to share that with you because that's what I got from the download that I got in my spirit, man, is we're all the same. We have commonalities. No matter what they may be, we may want to think that we're different from each other, but we're really not. We're not that different from each other. This young man, sadly, was gunned down, and he lost his life too, as an entertainer, or as I would say, a rapper type of person. But he was trying to wake his community up. I'll let Prince explain it to you better than I could, because I did a brief interview with Prince. So go ahead and listen in and get this interview in real quick. Hey, it's your boy Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show. And as I was discussing with you, I ran into a gentleman last night that was extremely interesting. You know, when you hear something, you got to know what you're hearing. And I met a young man, his name is Prince, works at the local store in my community, and I'm going to introduce you to him right now. Prince, say hi to the people.
Hello. Hey, how are you guys?
Thank you. Last night, I want you to just recount to the people how you and I met. There was a song playing last night, and what was it? Can you explain it to him?
It was a song like my favorite rapper, The Last Ride, by Sidhu MOOSE WALA. Like, who just like week ago he just got shot, and he got killed like brutally. So he's just like my favorite rapper, and this guy just came in. He was just listening to that song, and he just asked me like, oh, like this shit is like too hard, So he's just like want me to tell about him. That's it.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to tell you guys. You got to be able to listen for what you hear in someone's voice. And this rapper, whose name is Sidhu MOOSE WALA, there was something very strong about him. So you would consider him like an activist in your community, right?
Yeah, like he's like representing a religion, like the guy with the turban. He's like, he was coming with the Drake, Russ, like a lot of American rappers also. He was collaborating, but this thing happens, like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it's so sad,
And see, that's one of the things I wanted to just ask, Prince about. I see that you have the turban on, but that doesn't mean that you're from the Muslim community, right?
No.
Can you explain
I am from a Sikh religion, and that's how that guy is representing our culture, our religion. Because most of the guys in America, they think, oh, people with the turbans, they are Muslims. But it's not like that. Our religion, we are Sikh, So that guy is like representing turban on another level,
On a whole new level.
He's coming on like billboards, everything. And he recently got tribute right there in New York, Times Square. They gave him a tribute.
Oh, they gave him a tribute in Times Square?
Like 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Whole time he was there.
Wow. Because when I was looking into Sidhu MOOSE WALA, I see a lot of similarities in him and Tupac Shakur, where these young people, these gifted, beautiful young people, were simply trying to keep their culture and their communities connected. Am I right?
Yeah. He was very, very versatile rapper, He talk about political issues. He sing romantic songs. He's like a very versatile.
So when you think about, I'm trying to learn more and share with my audience too. Sidhu MOOSE WALA was trying to promote and preserve the culture of Punjabi.
Yeah, Punjabi.
Can you explain what that is briefly?
Like Punjab is a part of India, and it's like very different from India because most of the people, they are from the Sikh religion. That this is the minority like from the India,
Okay.
So that person, he was presenting on a like international level that what kind of people we are, like like very soul people.
Yeah, I can hear the soulfulness in his song, and that's what I wanted you to capitalize on, because when I came in and I heard the song, his voice, his words, even though I don't understand the language, were very soulful, and so...
and he was just like 28 years old, but his thoughts and his things are like on another level. The things he's
Wisdom
writing,
beyond his years.
Yeah, the things he's writing, it's on another level, So, like, he's kind of a young legend, you know. Like,
There it is.
we miss him a lot.
So,
like,
I mean, the same way that we lost Selena, the same way that we lost Tupac,
Yeah.
now we've lost another beautiful...
Recently he just dropped the song named The Last Ride. It was a tribute to Tupac Shakur and Nipsey Hussle, you know.
No way!
So that's why he was thinking about, and he was telling people that you can see from my face, like from my glamour of my face, that I will die in my young age also, because I am going on their footsteps, you know. And the same thing happened after a week.
And the same thing happened to him.
Yeah, his writing become a true thing, you know.
Wow. See, and that's why I wanted to introduce him to you, ladies and gentlemen, because, again, when it comes to, you know, this issue about the turbans and Muslims and what's going on, that's something we'll delve into a little bit more as we bring other people into the show. I want to thank you, Prince, for your time.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.
This is Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and we'll be right back after these messages. And, of course, we're not going to take any message break right now because we're in the last segment, but again, Sidhu MOOSE WALA, just like Tupac, just like Nipsey Hussle, just like Selena, I know we all felt pain when we lost those artists in our lives. The Sikhs feel the same way about this man. And so our condolences, sympathies to his family, friends, and fans. I can't play very much of it because you know how that stuff goes with this copyright stuff, but I want to give you just a little sample of Sidhu MOOSE WALA, and you listen for that soulful sound that captured me when I walked in the store. Sidhu MOOSE WALA.
Yo, what's it? Sidhu MOOSE WALA, baby. Just arrived live. Television form, man. ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕੋਈ ਕਰਮ ਦਾ ਤਲੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਫੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਣੀਆਂ ਖਵਾਜਾ ਮਿੱਠੀਏ ਆਓ ਚੋਪਰੇ ਤੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨੂਰ ਦਾ ਸਦਾਨੀਏ ਦਾ ਉਠੂਗਾ ਜਵਾਨੀ ਚ ਜਨਾਜਾ ਮਿੱਠੀਏ ਆਓ ਚੋਪਰੇ ਤੇ ਤੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨੂਰ ਦਾ ਸਦਾਨੀਏ ਦਾ ਉਠੂਗਾ ਜਵਾਨੀ ਚ ਜਨਾਜਾ ਮਿੱਠੀਏ
Sidhu MOOSE WALA. Again, sympathies, condolences to his family, friends, and fans. Again, in that it showed that our lives are a lot more similar than we would give ourselves credit for. And we need to recognize that and start seeking a common bond with our young people, with our old, with the communities of the world becoming smaller and smaller. And everybody's coming to America. So we need to find those common bonds like that. I'm sorry that it's, you know, somewhat dealing with a person's death. But what I'm trying to say is our young people are all coming together under these ideals. And because of that, I segue into the meat of the show, which is, you know, Democrats being jug heads. Now, when I say jug head, I'm really talking about jugging. Jugging is this new crime wave where our young people are out here following people home, going into stores, or in this case, the ATM operators, the people that drive around and put the money inside the ATM machines. Well, this young man, Jug God or whatever, he decides that they want to follow an ATM operator and they robbed him. And it looks like they may have robbed more than one. Okay. So he robs the ATM operator. And what does Jug God do? He turns right around and makes a rap song about the crime. That's right. He did that. Now, I know most of you out there going, you know, how dumb can you be, right? Don't ask that question because I'm sure somebody's going to do something even dumber. But here comes the worst part. They were captured. They were arrested. They were sent before the magistrates. And the district attorney let them go. They walked out. Now, the federal government is saying, we're going to look into this matter and see if they've, you know, committed these crimes across state lines, and then we'll get involved and do something too. But my point is this. That's why I segued into it from that part about Sidhu MOOSE WALA and the commonalities of our lives and our young people. The elections, or should I say the primaries here in the state of California, saw the district attorney of San Francisco fired. Over 60% of the people said this man got to go because he was letting criminals out. He was doing all this crazy stuff, and the people had had enough of it. They'd had enough of it. Now, what's the point of letting our young people run amok and run all through these streets committing all these crimes? To create chaos, to hide the chaos that the Democrats themselves are doing. When it comes to jugging, you follow someone home, and unbeknownst to them, you sneak up on them and you take their goods, or you go into the jewelry store and you smash the case open and you steal the jewelry, or you follow the ATM operator and you boost him. Well, I don't see much difference between the Democrats right now. They come into our homes, they take our money, they do whatever they want to do with it. 50 billion here, 100 billion there. Oh, we just going to leave enough weapons in Afghanistan to arm 2 armies. We ain't going to ask for it back. We're not going to protect your resources that we asked you to spend your money on. And oh, by the way, we're going to create our own tribunals and our own system of government, and we're going to do whatever we want to do and let ourselves off the hook. Let ourselves off the hook. That sounds like jugging to me. When somebody can take what belongs to you and nothing happens to them. So the chaos they're trying to create is, hey, let these young people just run around jugging. Let them be wilding. And that'll be the fog and the flotsam that hides the crimes that we're committing against the American people too. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it, and I say it on this show very often, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I say the Democrats are jugheads too. Wow, an hour can go by so fast. Thank you for sharing this time with me. There's no place I'd rather be. Nothing more I'd rather do than being right here doing this show for you. This is Ken White, host of the Southside Unicorn Show, and we are out.